What up, y'all? It's your boy, Whiskey Pete, checking in right now from a beautiful day in Los Angeles, California. You know, where it's summer 24/7, best place on earth. Feeling good, feeling blessed, but I did want to take a quick second today to talk about addiction, specifically addiction to opiates and heroin. For those of you that don't know what opiates are prescription pain medication. It's something that might have been prescribed to you before by a doctor. If you've ever had your wisdom teeth pulled or broken an arm or basically had any pain at all, a doctor probably prescribed you opiate-based pain medication. Some of those medications are Oxycontin, Dilaudid, Percocet, Norco, Vicodin, things of that nature. So you end up getting your wisdom teeth pulled, or you break your arm, you hurt yourself in some way, and you go to the doctor, and they end up prescribing you an opiate-based pain medication. Most people are really naive in the sense that they don't understand how highly addictive and deadly these medications are. And most people think because they got it from a doctor and it was prescribed by a professional that it's safe and it can't hurt you. And you can't get addicted to it because it's from a doctor. Why would he give me something that can hurt me? Hate to say, you are very, very wrong. This is how addiction starts. It starts with not understanding how strong a medication is and what it actually is. Opiates are highly addictive. So is heroin. Heroin is an opiate. Most people graduate to using heroin after using prescription-based opiate pain medication. So one of the reasons why these medications are so scary is because basically they're prescribed to you when you get hurt or if you have minimal pain. Even if you're not seriously injured, a lot of times you're going to be prescribed opiate-based pain medication. And what's scary is there's never an alternative given to you by the doctor, something that's homeopathic or not narcotic or non-addictive. That just doesn't seem to happen. They just throw prescription pain medication at you and you eventually become addicted. And that's kind of what they want because they make money off of you. They make billions and billions of dollars every year slanging this poison to people, and I fell victim to it as well. So what happens is you get your wisdom teeth pulled, they're going to give you like 30 Norcos. First off, you don't need 30 Norcos for getting your wisdom teeth pulled. You're going to take that medication for maybe like 2 days when you're in pain and swelling, maybe 3. So then what? You've got like 25, 26 Norcos left over. So what happens if you start taking that? So if you start taking that medication daily, eventually you're going to get addicted to it. So you get a 30-day script. Say you took it every day. By the end of that 30 days, you don't have any more opiates. You don't have any medication anymore. What happens is you're going to get dope sick, or you're going to go into withdrawal. Withdrawal is basically your body going into shock from not having opiates anymore. And let me tell you, if you've never been dope sick before, if you've never been through withdrawal, I'll tell you right now, it's probably one of the worst things you're ever going to experience. Some of the symptoms are vomiting, diarrhea, cold sweats, restless leg syndrome, probably the worst anxiety you've ever had in your entire life, headaches, just trembling with pain and fear and depression. And it's very mental, but it's also very physical, and it's very fucking extreme. So you get dope sick and you end up going through the withdrawal. A withdrawal can last anywhere from like 2 to 3 days, depending on how addicted you are and how much of the substance you're using. So you run out of your pills, you go through the withdrawal, but then what you're left with is insane cravings for opiates. You think you're addicted to burritos. You think you're addicted to cigarettes. You think you're addicted to coffee. Try taking Norcos for a month and then not taking them. Your body is going to ask for that medication. It's going to say, feed me, Pete. Give me some opiates, man. We don't feel good. And what eventually happens is if people can't get pills because they're super fucking expensive on the streets and can be hard to find at times, that's how people graduate to using heroin. And that's exactly what happened to me, sadly. So I struggle with my own addiction to prescription pain medication, opiate-based pain medication for many, many, many years. Went to rehab many times, got sober, relapsed, got sober, relapsed, because, you know, once you take opiates on a regular basis, it's like a splinter in your brain, that craving for that feeling, because opiates provide you a feeling of euphoria that is not compared to anything I've ever felt before. And if you like the way that it feels, then chances are you are going to be walking down the path of full-blown addiction. So this is just a brief explanation of opiates and withdrawal. I'm clean now. I've been clean for like 5 years. I'm completely transparent about this. A lot of people know this about me. Some of you don't, but I feel like it was important to talk about it. So the reason I want to talk about this briefly and share my story with you guys is because, like I said, I was once addicted to opiate pain medication for many years. Thankfully, I'm sober now. I've been sober for about 5 years, and I never looked back. But what I wanted to do was share a little bit of my story. I'm totally transparent about this. I'm not one to hide and feel ashamed about talking about it, because what we need to do is talk about it and open up a dialogue about it, because people are dying every single day. Opiate overdose, drug overdose in general, kills more people than car accidents and guns combined every single year. Let that sink in for a second. So just know you're not alone. You can beat this with treatment, with forward thinking, with positivity, with progression, with determination. You can fucking beat this. I never thought I would ever be off opiates, but I am today, and I gotta tell you, I'm happier than I ever been. So like I said, this is a very brief explanation of opiates and withdrawal symptoms and addiction. And I just wanted to share this with you guys because we're losing a lot of great people, and addiction is real. It is a disease, and I just want everybody to know that you're not alone if you're suffering from this, and you can't do it by yourself. Thankfully, I wasn't an intravenous user, which means I didn't shoot heroin, but I did smoke it, you know, and still is a way to become extremely addicted to it. Just because I didn't use it with a needle doesn't mean that it was less addictive or anything like that. But what I did want to say is you're not alone. You can beat this. Let me be an example that you can, and let me be a glimpse of hope for somebody out there that is suffering from addiction, because it is a very real thing, and it can be beaten. Like I said, you can beat addiction, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be one of the hardest things you've ever had to do in your entire life. It was for me, and it's something that I have to work at every day. I actively go to AA and NA meetings, and you know, practice the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. I know it's not a fucking cult. It's a way of life, and it's a way of life for me, and some principles I can apply to my life to where I can be sober and not be a fucking shithead, and not be a bad person, and not be a junkie, basically. My day job today, I work at a treatment center, which is a rehab facility, and I'm a drug and alcohol counselor, and I get to use my story, and I get to use everything I've been through to help out other people. And the way to help out other people is with using your story. Addicts are able to relate to other addicts, and there's a sense of camaraderie within this community. And that's why I'm able to go to my place of work, which is a treatment facility, a rehab, and I'm able to share my story, and I'm able to help out others with my story, because they can look at me and say, damn, this dude knows what's up. This guy's been through this shit, and I've been through it too. And you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. I'm not just some guy reading out of a book about drug addiction. I fucking lived it, and now I live my life, you know, to help others and to spread change and awareness about this disease, because it's deadly and it's taking out way too many great people. And just know that if you're suffering from addiction, you're not alone, and there's many of you out there. So thank you guys for listening to a little bit of my story. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos, thinking about starting a YouTube channel, and I just want to spread positivity and awareness about addiction, alcoholism, and everything else that comes along.